Axie Infinity in bite size. Today, we'll be looking at positioning of your Axies. The positioning of your Axies easily affects how the game goes. It decides which opponents you hit, and more specifically, which of your Axies take the hits. Ultimately, a good positioning strategy can win you games. It is highly recommended that players use this position. You want to have your tank front and center, and your damage Axies in the same line on top. At first glance, you can already see that your tank will be the first Axie in your team to take in hits from your opponent, as Axies generally hit the closest opponent to them. So, you want your tank to be right there in their faces. Now, why do you want your damage dealing Axies in a line above? Well, this is to ensure that they are always within the same distance as the Axies they attack. Let's have a look at this scenario. If your opponent attacks you, your tank will take all the hits because it's the closest one to them. When you attack, both your Axies will go for the one in the middle, and when the enemy tank dies, you're left with the opponent Axies on top and below. Here's how you can see why having two damage dealing Axies in the same line would help you. Because they are in the same line, they are both closest to the enemy Axie on top, and this allows you to focus your attacks on it. Now, let's go into our second scenario. Your opponent has an Axie on top and on the bottom. If your tank attacks, which one do you think it will go for? You're right, there'll be a 50-50% chance whether the tank will go for the top or bottom. This is why you do not want to have your damage dealing Axies in the middle. In Axie Infinity, we do not want to leave things to chance, and you should always burst your enemy Axies at every chance you have. So, let's do a recap. First, you want your tank in a position where it will take the most damage, aka front and center. Second, you want your damage dealing Axies to be in the same row, just so they're always in the same distance as anyone they attack. Third, positions win games. And that wraps up our episode for today. Be sure to like and subscribe for more of our content, and leave a comment down below if you want us